I would like to go on record saying when Progressive and AT&T botted me, they asked. And I said, absolutely.
That's Tectone casually admitting that major corporations were viewbotting him on Twitch, and he wasn't alone. On August 21st, 2025, Twitch finally flipped the switch on its viewbot detection system, and what happened next was the streaming equivalent of Thanos snapping his fingers. Platform-wide viewership dropped 24% overnight. Some of the biggest names in streaming lost half their audience. And the worst part? This exposed that up to 86% of Twitch's top 500 streamers might have been inflating their numbers. So how did we get here? Why did Twitch suddenly decide to nuke its own platform after years of turning a blind eye? And who were the real winners when the dust settled? Buckle up, because this rabbit hole goes deeper than you think. Want to dig deeper? Head to SLOTSTREAMERS.BIO for exclusive bios, massive wins, and all the drama. Look, viewbotting on Twitch isn't new by any means. It's been the industry's worst-kept secret for years, with guys like Ice Poseidon doing it over a decade ago. Trainwrecks literally called this out ages ago, claiming 90% of the top 100 streamers were botting.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Me and maybe 5 others might be the only ones in the entire fucking industry not botting. Maybe in the top in the top 100, I would say it's gotta be everyone's bullshitting.
So why did Twitch suddenly grow a spine in August 2025? 3 things happened that forced their hand. First, the ad money pressure hit critical mass. Major advertisers discovered they were paying premium rates for fake viewers. Devin Nash dropped a bombshell. Small streams with 500, 1,000 viewers were converting better than channels with 30,000 plus viewers. When multi-billion-dollar companies realized they were getting scammed, they didn't just reduce spending, they literally pulled out permanently. Second, the embarrassing leaks became impossible to ignore. Remember when Queen Gloria RP accidentally showed her Viewbot dashboard on stream? Yeah, that was just the tip of the iceberg. By August 2025, Viewbot services were literally bragging on Twitter about getting streamers to partner status in 3 months. It's like drug dealers advertising on billboards. At some point, you have to do something. And third, the sheer scale had gotten out of control. When 1 in 6 streamers on Kick were confirmed viewbotters, and when Twitch's own analytics showed 41,000 channels with suspicious activity, the platform faced an existential crisis. Either clean house or watch advertisers flee to YouTube forever, or even worse, they might give up on Twitch and go to Kick. So August 21st rolls around, and Twitch implements its enhanced detection system. The results? Absolute carnage. Within 24 hours, platform-wide viewership tanked by 24%. But that average hides the real bloodbath. Let us paint you a picture. Mizkif went from 17,126 viewers to 9,142. That's a 47% drop overnight. Imagine waking up and half your audience just vanished. Asmongold lost between 10 through 30%, depending on the stream. Tectone, StableRonaldo, Lacy all saw massive drops. The pattern was clear. The bigger you were, the harder you fell. And here's where it gets spicy. xQc, who, by the way, barely lost any viewers, immediately went nuclear on Twitter. On August 23rd, he posted what might be the most explosive thread in Twitch history. xQc came out swinging with receipts. His exact words: talent agencies receive a % from ad streams their talent does. By inflating their streamers, they can sell massive ad packages in bulk and take in much higher sums. To put simply, fraud. But he didn't stop at vague accusations. He went directly at FaZe Clan, claiming they had in-house server farms for viewbotting. His threat?
I'm going to expose the power bill that you guys have. Because I know you guys have your in-house bots at the FaZe house. I'm not stupid. I know about the server room, by the way. I know about the power bill that you guys have every month.
The response was immediate and brutal. FaZe Lacy, whose numbers had just gotten destroyed, fired back after xQc won Streamer of the Decade. His sarcastic tweet: "Congratulations to @xQc for winning Most Overrated Streamer of the Decade." Fans roasted Lacy in the replies. Upset he got exposed as the biggest botter, your rage tried to play peacemaker, telling xQc to handle it privately, to which xQc basically said, "Not going to hide." Meanwhile, StableRonaldo dropped his own bomb. During a stream, he exposed how his former management literally offered to viewbot him.
Old management that people don't even know about, who were like, yo, Ron, if you go to Kick right now, We will bot your numbers on Twitch so you can get a stake deal so that when you go to kick, we'll also bot your numbers and we get a percent. That's what I was told. I'm exposing it right now.
This wasn't just random streamers botting for clout. This was systematic, management-driven fraud. Here's where things get weird. By August 26th, just 5 days after the crackdown, viewership numbers mysteriously started recovering. Streamers who'd lost half their audience were suddenly back to their 30-day averages. Industry analyst Zach Bussey reported the strange rebound, leading to speculation that Twitch had caved to pressure and rolled back its detection. Twitch denied it, claiming, "We have not rolled back any of our Viewbot tools." Their explanation? Viewbotter services work hard to evade detection. Basically, the bot makers had already adapted to the new system. It's like a game of whack-a-mole where the moles have PhDs in computer science. Let's talk about why this matters beyond just inflated egos. This wasn't victimless number padding, it was systematic fraud that cost millions. Devin Nash laid it out perfectly. Viewbotting had stolen millions of dollars from legitimate creators. How? When advertisers pay based on viewership, and that viewership is fake, real creators get a smaller slice of a poisoned pie. The financial impact was staggering. Major brands didn't just reduce Twitch spending, they fully pulled out of the marketing space permanently. One advertising executive told Sports Illustrated that discovering the scale of fraud made them question every metric on every platform. StableRonaldo's revelation about management companies taking percentages of deals secured through botted numbers showed how deep the rot went. This was organized crime, streaming edition. So who came out on top when the dust settled? Let's start with the winners. The biggest dub went to legitimate smaller streamers who finally got their shot at discoverability. Think about it. When fake 10K channels got exposed and dropped to their real numbers, suddenly those authentic 1K channels could actually be found. It's like removing all the fake Rolexes from a watch store. Suddenly, the real ones stand out. YouTube also won by positioning itself perfectly as the clean alternative, bragging about having 10 times lower invalid traffic rates. They basically got to sit back and watch their biggest competitor implode while looking like the responsible adult in the room. Then there's xQc and the other authentic big streamers who barely lost any viewers. And honestly, the viewers won too. They could finally trust that when something was popular, it was actually popular, not just expensive bot farms working overtime. But the losers lost hard. The exposed streamers didn't just lose numbers, they lost all credibility. Some of these channels never recovered. Talent agencies had their entire business model exposed as potentially fraudulent. These companies that were taking percentages of inflated deals suddenly had to explain why their top talent lost half their audience in 24 hours. This wasn't just about fake numbers. It fundamentally changed how we think about streaming success. Before August 2025, view count was everything. It determined sponsorships, platform deals, discoverability, and your entire career. The crackdown shows us all that maybe half of what we thought was popular was actually just sophisticated theater. The real kicker was that viewers started questioning every stream's legitimacy, though. Is this real or botted? Became the new first in chat. Trust, once broken, is nearly impossible to rebuild. Economically, this will force an overall reset. Real metrics meant smaller but more accurate valuations. Some streamers who'd been living off inflated sponsorship deals had to face reality. Others, who'd been grinding with genuine audiences, finally got recognition. And the precedent it set? Every platform had to ask itself, are we next? If Twitch could lose a quarter of its viewership overnight, what skeletons were hiding in YouTube gaming, Kick, or Facebook's closets? The drama's still unfolding. More revelations keep dropping. But one thing's crystal clear. The Wild West days of buying your way to the top are over. Well, at least until the botters figure out the next workaround. Because if there's one thing we've learned, it's that in the streaming game, the house always finds a way to win. And if you're curious about the stories behind other streamers, head to SLOTSTREAMERS.BIO for deeper profiles and the drama that keeps viewers coming back.